Welcome to Desert Botanical Testing Station number 2.
Okay, cool. Let's get out of here.
Supervisor, Dr. Rommel.
Very nice. Okay. Okay, we should be clear out of here now. Research. Cool. Now we just need to head back to base. Gonna go this side, there's more shade by the looks of it. In fact, I could probably get shade in that guy's building first. There we go. Okay. Oh, there's a lot of shade around here, not gonna lie. There we go.
Identify yourself.
But no. Nice. Nearly there. Stay in those shadows.
Who's that?
Who's that? Reveal yourself. Eyes on enemy.
Might as well take that while we're here.
Who's that?
Skull skills online. Thought we got no. You obviously didn't catch what I said. That throughout May, I was traveling a lot with work, and I wasn't able to maintain a stream schedule. So I have been offline for a number of weeks because of work. Unfortunately, nothing I can do about it. It pays the bills. But no, I am here, back to normal. Certainly throughout June and July, I'll be back to a normal schedule, and even maybe the odd stream. For at least a few hours at the weekends and stuff. So yeah, no, I'm still around. We're doing Dune Awakening. We'll be doing some Once Human new season and early access of the new scenario, Endless Night, and still doing some Last Epoch and Path of Exile too. So yeah, we're still here. We're still here. Right, we're gonna make ourselves a sand bike. So let's craft the welding torch. Welding wire. One of those. One of those. Okay. Yeah, it got really busy after the last Once Human stream, so you missed me. Yeah, no. So I've got actually the new season's just come up, so I've got the Starfall inversion one to do with all the reverse gravity, but I also want to do create another character for the early access of Endless Night. Yeah, still streaming, and my YouTube channel stuff goes up every day. So even when I'm not online because of work, there's stuff that goes up on the YouTube channel every day. Yeah, this game it released into the 5 days pre-release schedule. So I'm on the pre-release schedule right now. So the game actually releases in 5 days' time. But of course, if you've got the like mid-level edition, then you've got the early access of 5 days. It actually reminds me a reasonable amount of Once Human, interestingly. At the moment, the end game's definitely going to be different, but there's definitely elements here that I go, yeah, that's quite similar. Right. So what do we need? Fabricate a sandbike tread. Oh, we need 3 of those. We need 2 more sandbike tread Mark 1s. Okay. And then we need a... I thought I made a sandbike chassis. Mark 1. We got a sandbike engine. Hang on. That's all damaged stuff. That's not. That's a vehicle. That's damaged. So let's get rid of the damaged. We've... Oh no, sandbike hull, inventory. Maybe we didn't make the chassis. Okay. There we go. I'm enjoying the game so far. You know, for day 1, the servers are holding up well. The performance is good. Just have to make sure you download the hotfix if you're using an NVIDIA driver, and then restart your computer, and then you don't get any. Well, certainly I haven't had any crashes or anything. The combat I find a little clunky compared to Once Human, and that's really around the interface between melee and range combat. Like if you're shooting your weapon and then somebody rushes you, is a bit of a delay in. You have to switch to your melee weapon and then you use a different button to start attacking. But that, I mean, that's fine. But yeah, overall it's pretty cool. The building system looks pretty cool. So yeah, I mean, no complaints so far. Right, so demolish that and that and that and that, because we're going to need to extend our base. So build, right, and then actually what I want to do, yeah, let's expand that and that. I do miss the fly out that you get in Once Human though, not gonna lie. Okay, and then let's fill that in. Okay, right, and then we just... Oh, what do we need? We need granite. We don't have enough granite. We need to go get some granite. Alert. Oh my god, we got a weather alert just as I'm rebuilding my base. You're absolutely kidding me. No! Similar to Once Human, in what way does it follow? No, it's similar in that it's essentially a looter-shooter sandbox survival. It's just the end game is different. But if you think about you're going around doing strongholds, following a story, having to survive, building a base, your base actually being useful, and the base building system being pretty interesting. Yeah, I would say that in that way, that's what I would say. Right, just need to build a door. Get a door in here. Fact.
Sector weather alert. A large sandstorm is approaching.
Let's see if I can get a roof on here quick. What timing? Getting a sandstorm at this time? That's crazy. It's just the end game is different in terms of the end game has a flavour of it's factional warfare. but the factional warfare can be both PvP and PvE. Well, normally you'd be inside your base doing stuff, but the storm doesn't last very long, so it's really not a problem. Right. I also like the fact in this that you're able to place the walls before you actually build them. So you almost build your own blueprint, which I think's pretty cool. And then you fill it in after. But it does, I mean, we're very early days in the base building, but from other stuff that I've seen, it does look like the base building system is pretty good. I don't know if it's quite as good as Once Human, but if you like the element of the looter shooter combined with the survival with the base building, then you know there's a lot of that in this game. Right, and what I'm going to do here, I need to build a garage for my Sandbike. So oh, okay. Rubbish. There we go. Not sure if that's going to be big enough. Should be big enough, I think, for the sandbag. Why have I built doors? I've built doors. Yeah, it's questionable. There we go. So it's going to be a little garage, because if you leave your sandbike outside when the sandstorms come in, it actually degrades that. So cool. And then this door here, we can change the permissions, so owner only to enter. Lots of good things if you're playing with a group in terms of sharing base and everything else. Right, let me just do this. So you can, like, if you're working in a group, you've got all the permissions and stuff. It's pretty easy to move things as well. So we just go to our tool, select move, and we can shift everything around. The only thing I wish, again, something that Once Human didn't do on day one, was didn't have the snapping system. I want a snapping system. They added it in later, but I really like the snapping systems. I know a lot of people don't like them, but Once Human does it in a really good way in that they're able to... you're able to turn it on and off. But, you know, Once Human didn't have a snapping system on day one either, so... You know, and Funcom... this is a Funcom game. You know, they did Conan Exiles. Conan Exiles on day one wasn't the best game, but this is a company that has a reputation through all its games of sticking with them and improving and improving and improving until the game ends up being really good. So, you know, this is a company with a great reputation for supporting and improving their games. So any of the issues that you see now and quality of life stuff that you see now, I have no doubt that in a reasonable time frame will be improved. You know, and building systems always have jank, right? Once Human is not without its jank building systems. I mean, there's a lot of stuff in Once Human that annoys the crap out of me, right? Okay, so we've done that. Let's move our respawn beacon. Let's just put that here. So yeah, so you get it, my friend. You get it, right? Right. So what we're gonna do now is build a chemical refinery. Or refinery. Oh, I need to research it first. Okay, yeah, let's research. So this is pretty cool in terms of you've got your journey which you're following, you've got your skill trees, which is like class based. So you pick a class to start with, but you do get to unlock all the other classes. So it doesn't lock you into a specific class, which is really nice. You've got all your crafting stuff here as well. So yeah, it's pretty good. Pretty good. Right, there's the chemical refinery. So let's research that. There we go. Nice. And then we need to construct. Oh no, build chemical refinery. So let's put that. There. Cool. Refine a small or medium-sized vehicle fuel cell. Let's do a medium. But when you get your vehicles, unlike this, you construct all the different components. You can upgrade components. You can get ornithopters and fly in the game. In fact, there are ornithopters which can transport vehicles, which is pretty cool. There's some really cool elements to this game. It's definitely bigger in scope than Once Human, without a doubt. And I would say there's way more content, though I'd expect there to be way more jank, certainly early on, and I don't think the combat feels as good as Once Human. How large is the map? This is just the one section that we've opened, right? But it goes all the way up here, and there's different elements to the map as well. So we're in the starting area, and then there's like other areas that you go to, and then there's like PvP areas that you go to, but you're choosing to go into that PvP area. So there's multiple areas. It is pretty big. I mean, for me to cross from here to here takes quite a long time. Not only that, every time you go across a big area of sand, you can alert sandworms, which come after you. Yeah. Assemble the Sandbike using a welding torch Mark 1. Now, we have a welding torch Mark 1, correct? We do, and we have the 0 wire. Okay, so how do we assemble the Sandbike? So if we come out here, we go to inventory, we put the welding torch in place of the probe launcher. Have we got another Emperor's Wings? Nice. Okay. So we've got that. So the welding torch is number 7. Oh, there we go. Look at that. There we go. Sandbike chassis. What's that? Engine. Tread. Okay. the hull, and the inventory. Cool! Hey, we got our sandbike. Wicked. And their vehicles are totally customizable as well. That's wicked. Right, if I do that, we need to get rid of this as well. Enter vehicle.
That's it, off-worlder. You're ready. I'm waiting at Mirzabar. That's the great rock formation that looks like a giant hammer. Be careful. Vehicles are fast, but nothing can outrun Shai Hulud. You can only hope to get between safe areas more quickly. I'll see you soon.
Out of fuel. Good talk. Okay, how do we get off? How do we get off? That's great. Cool. We can't go anywhere because we have no fuel. How do I get off the bike? Exit the bike. E. Press and hold. Wicked. Quick deposit. No matching items. How do we refuel this thing? Interactions. Refuel. There we go. Hey, we got fuel, baby. Oh, it's got some drift. Right, first of all, we're going to put it in our garage. Like so. We've got to sort our inventory out before we do anything. Right, so what do I want here? That we're keeping, that we're keeping, that we're keeping. A fuel cell we'll keep. That we can put in the storage for now. Do you know what? We don't need the still suit for now. The survey probe we'll keep. The welding wire. Needed to repair vehicles. And we need the blood packs. The granite we can get rid of. I've got... Oh, they're all different. So I need to keep their contract items. Okay. So I'm thinking... right. Let's research that. And then we put the welding wire and the fuel cell into the inventory of the bike. Right, let's drink. Good. And then let's deposit the blood. And let's extract water into our bottle. There we go, that's done. Cool, so we've got plenty of water. Let's go to the bike and let's put in the inventory. F. Open inventory. There we go. Cool. Repair and more fuel. That can't be a bad thing. So it's a server, not so much a single player world. Oh, it's a server. There's I think on there's like multiple like mini servers on one world server. So a bit like Once Human, right? You get your worlds, you get your one server, and then you get the multiple worlds on the server. It's same as this, but during PvP, all those elements can come together and you can PvP. I think there's like 1,000 players, or 800 to 1,000 players per world, if that makes sense. Grey Mauser, how you doing? Good to see you. Good to see you. So yeah, so it's definitely, it's on the verge of an MMO, and it's definitely not seasonal, but because the factional warfare is gonna essentially almost create seasons. So like you fight for a week with your factional warfare, whether it's PvP stuff or PvE missions. The end of that week, depending on how the faction did, determines what bonuses happen. But if one faction is unbalanced, there's a balancing mechanic which makes it so that it's easier for, like, if you've got 90% Harkonnen and 10% Atreides, there's balancing things in the game which mean that doesn't matter, so that there will be an element of balance. And they're also introducing a third faction, and the third faction's job, they get the benefit if the other two factions are completely balanced 50-50. So that's really quite interesting. You've got two factions fighting it out, and then you've got this odd third faction, and that third faction's job isn't to be better than all the others, it's to fight both factions, but to keep them balanced, so that they're both factions have equal balance, which I think is a real interesting approach. Right, where are we going? We need to deliver that. Journey. Vermilius Gap. Miscellaneous. Wider world. Backup plan. So we've done all of those. Moving on. Move to a new area and abandon your first base. What? Okay. Interesting. But then where is that? Where are we going? Where is the Vermilius Gap? Drive north. I'm wondering if we go here and then finish the contract, and then we look at going north and finding out what this... Oh, there's the Western Vermilius Gap. Eastern Vermilius Gap. Okay. Alright, well, let's go here. That's the Fremen. Are they not in this game? So everybody believes the Fremen... So the Fremen right now are missing, but everybody believes the third faction will be the Fremen. How was the travels? Long. I mean, the work was good. We had good work, but man, I came back sick from it, which I'm just getting over. But travels was just, yeah, it's long. It's lots of airplanes, lots of hotels, and yeah, I could, you know, if I didn't have to do it, I wouldn't. But it does pay the bills. Right, let's go. We're cooking on gas now. We got bloody vehicle. It's a bit drifty, bit floaty, but I can live with that. It's like being in a rally game. We got to stay near the rocks though, because it said we can't outrun the worms. So we can't just race across the desert, because we will get eaten by a worm. If you get eaten by a worm, it's the one time in the game that you lose everything. So don't ever get eaten by a worm, because you lose everything. I'll lose my bike, my gear, my weapons. Everything I'm carrying on me, I will lose. Right, where are we going? I need to get across to this rocky area over there. Okay, then all the way up to that way. Okay, let's see it. And you can see the bike makes way more noise than if you run as well, so you will attract a worm quicker. Oh, is he going up? No. Right, where's this trade outpost again? So I need to go straight up to here and then off to the left. So we need to cross here. Oh, no. Get on the vehicle. Don't annoy the worm. There we go, we're safe. Ow! Mother trucker! NPC having a go at me. A lot of people playing. There was, last I heard, there was like 80,000 plus people online today. And this is only in the early access phase, so that's pretty impressive. Clearly it's got people's interest. And you can see this server, I mean, look, these are all player bases. All of these, like, brick-looking things, that's all player bases, and they're everywhere. So there's definitely a lot of people playing. Oh, man, did you build a house and block me off? That's rubbish, isn't it? Right. Can we enter driver inventory, refuel, manage vehicle? Look, you can add permissions to your vehicle, so you can actually allow your friends to drive your vehicles. That's pretty cool. Right, I'm just going to go up here. Turn in the contract. There we go. Deliver items. Deliver. Right, okay, so then we've got all of these contracts. So we can accept all of these. Just deliver items, which I don't have. Oh, I do have this one. Cool. Do I have this one too? No. Micro sandwich fabric. Right, let's come down here. Any other biomes so far? No, I haven't got that far. I'm just in the starting area, to be honest. I'm just in the starting area. I mean, we've been going 7 hours, but I made a mistake by... where did my bike go? Here. I made a mistake by... like just exploring and like completing the map, because when you go to the map you've got like this percentage completion. So I spent a lot of the early game finding all these scavenger camps, all these little hidden caves. I've explored the wreck twice, this twice. What I should have done was just follow the journey early on. See this journey thing that comes up? I should have followed that from the beginning. But I'm actually going to be wrapping up now, so I want to go and get my bike into a safe area. If you leave your bike out, it will decay. So you have to make sure it's in cover. So we should be sheltered here. You also have to fuel your base. It's really easy to fuel it. If you don't, your base starts to decay. But in like 20 to 30 minutes, I've got enough fuel cells to fuel my base for 20 days. So it's really not a problem. So there we go. Right, on that note, ladies and gentlemen, we're going 7 hours. We're going to wrap it up here for today. I may stream during the day a little bit tomorrow. So you may see me on streaming tomorrow. Maybe early afternoon, lunchtime, early afternoon, US Eastern time. Certainly not into the evening. We'll see over the weekend. But I do want to play more Dune, but I do have Once Human new season to do as well. So we've got lots of things going on, and they will take a bit of time. But that's going to be it for today. So Skull Squirrels and Grey Mouser, thanks for being with us, as always. Great to see you. Hopefully I'm going to see you a lot more. Travels are done. We're back to our normal schedule. So that's Mondays, Wednesdays and Thursdays, and maybe the odd other stream in between at the weekends or something like that, even if it's just for a few hours during the day. Obviously still YouTube content up every single day. Planet Crafter series running right now. And off stream I'm recording some Starfield stuff and Space Marine 2 to go up as series coming up after Planet Crafter on the YouTube channel. So there we go. But thanks for being with us. There'll be more Dune tomorrow. Definitely playing Dune tomorrow. And then we'll see after that when we get to Once Human. But have a great rest of your evening. You've been watching The Ghost Owl, and I will see you all probably tomorrow. Have a good one, Mauser and Skull Skills.